Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and on today's program we will get an update on some of the services provided by South Shore Elder Services in Braintree. First though, we do check weather and news for you. Currently in Quincy, partly cloudy out there. It's 75 degrees right now. Not a bad day today. The sunshine will increase throughout the afternoon. Humidity is still in check with a high right around 80 degrees for this first Monday of August. Should be comfortable for sleeping again tonight. Partly cloudy, lows down into the lower 60s. A little more humid tomorrow, but still staying mostly dry. A few more clouds tomorrow too. Highs tomorrow into the low, maybe even the mid 80s. And again, some mugginess tomorrow night. Lows drop off into the mid 60s. Wednesday is a little unsettled. Could see a shower in the afternoon, up around 80 degrees. Better chance for rain here on Thursday. Scattered showers throughout the day. Thursday's highs into the low 70s. Again, partly sunny at 75 in Quincy right now. In the news today, well, the stage is all set for a preliminary election in Quincy next month. 7 candidates have qualified to run for the 3 open school committee seats, including incumbents Emily Lebo, Courtney Perdios, and Doug Guttrow, Tina Cahill, Liberty Schaff, Liz Speakman, and Ellen Patterson O'Donnell will also appear on the ballot, and one will be eliminated in the September 14th preliminary. Now, the remaining candidates will face off against each other during the final election on November 2nd. Also on November 2nd, there will be races for the Wards 1, 2, and 5 city council seats and for councilor at large. In a last-minute move last week, Norfolk County Treasurer Mike Bellotti did qualify to run for councilor at large. William Burke also qualified, and all the incumbent city councilors are seeking re-election this year. There is no mayoral race in Quincy this year. The state is awarding Quincy almost $3 million for a seawall improvement project. Last week, Governor Baker said that Quincy will receive $2.89 million to update the seawall on Mannett Avenue at Babcock Street out on Haas Neck. Now, that area is prone to flooding during severe storms and even extreme high tides. The Quincy grant was one of 28 to cities and towns, totaling $17 million. Ward 1 Councilor Dave McCarthy says the seawall work will begin next year. Hull also received funds to repair the Nantasket Beach seawall. Braintree will get $1 million to repair the Armstrong Dam and to restore the Manattaquit River. And Weymouth is getting funding to improve Fort Point Road. Large portions of the Red Line would be flooded by a 100-year storm by the year 2030 unless something's done to control sea level rise. A new study by MIT and Tulane University conclude that large sections of the MBTA subway system are vulnerable to sea level rise over the next 50 years. By 2070, the report says that a 100-year storm event would flood the entire MBTA subway system. The T says it is already spending $2 million on some short-term flooding solutions, but experts say long-term solutions are needed to protect the system in the future. Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch visited Washington, D.C. last week for a mix of business and pleasure. In a video update, the mayor said he chatted with Congressman Stephen Lynch to discuss how the $1 trillion infrastructure package from the Biden administration could impact Quincy, and he also took some time out to meet with a Quincy native.
As you know, in Quincy, we've done quite well with federal and state monies, and that's because of the relationships we have with these individuals. So we certainly appreciate the work of Congressman Lynch. Second, we were fortunate to meet at the Pentagon with General James McConville. He's the Chief of Staff of the Army, so he's in charge of the entire United States Army, more than 1 million people that work for the Army, quite an organization. And as you know, he's a Quincy kid, grew up in Marymount, and he's one of the honorees that's going to be happening September 11th when we dedicate the bridge in the park in honor of these 18 generals since the Revolutionary War. So he was quite hospitable. We appreciate his service, of course, but also his kindness in cutting some time out for a kid from Quincy representing you, certainly down here in Washington. So I appreciate that as well. The weather is hot and humid down here, and look forward to getting home. I know it may not be in everybody's budget or necessarily time, but I firmly believe every American, if they have the opportunity, should visit Washington, D.C. Look at the monuments, read the stories of the Americans since the start of the Revolutionary time period. The commitment, the sacrifice, dedication they made, we should not take it lightly. Behind me is the Vietnam War Memorial. We had 48 men from Quincy who died in that war, serving our nation. However you feel about the political policies, these men gave it all in their sacrifice, whether it was the Vietnam War, Korea, World War II, World War I, going back to revolutionary time, or more recently in Iraq and Afghanistan. We have incredible patriots that continue to put on the uniform and defend our freedom. So if you have that chance, learn about this great country, learn about the history, show a great appreciation for those that went before us. For we're enjoying incredible freedoms. If not for them, we would not have that opportunity.
That General's Bridge dedication ceremony is scheduled for September 11th, which will mark the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks. The Adams National Historical Park here in Quincy will partially reopen this Wednesday. Park Service says the birthplaces over on Franklin Street in South Quincy will reopen for tours with a park ranger from noon to 4 Wednesdays through Sundays. Tours must be scheduled online in advance. The grounds will be open daily from dawn to dusk. The Old House on Adams Street there, the Visitor Center in Quincy Center, and the trolley tours all remain closed until further notice. The grounds of the Old House are also open from dawn to dusk for self-guided walking tours. Coming up, we chat with representatives from South Shore Elder Services of Braintree. That's next. Welcome back. Last time we had a chat with the folks from South Shore Elder Services of Braintree. It was virtually over Zoom, as so many folks were communicating during the height of the pandemic. We're so pleased to welcome live and in studio here Marilyn Strauss and Bridget Campbell to bring us up to date on some of the different activities and services that are being provided and might be available for you. So welcome, ladies. Great to have you both here.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I know. Bridget, I think you were in on that call.
I was.
The Zoom
I
call.
was, yes. I was making sure my back looked fine when I was, what was in the back of me, so.
To talk about all the volunteer opportunities,
Yes.
right, and services available.
Yep.
How is South Shore Elder Services coping during this time?
Well, we're doing very well volunteer-wise, but we do need more volunteer Meals on Wheels drivers.
Yes.
Especially in Quincy, in the Martinson and House Neck area.
Okay.
It's a fun group of people. Everybody enjoys themselves, everything like that. Our other programs that we offer are the Friendly Visitor Program, which we call, at this time we're calling people. We're not going to visit the person. Just still pandemic-wise, we'd like to still keep it as that we're just giving a call, see how you're doing, see how you're coping, stuff like that.
Okay.
We have people lined up to be able to call people.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
been really, really good.
How does somebody who may want to have a friendly call,
Yep.
sign up for that?
So
Yeah.
to sign up and to start the process, we do an application and a query check on a person. You can see it on our website at sselder.org. You can come and look at it, and it says opportunities. All of our applications, queries, everything is there for
Okay.
you to be able to. You can punch up, or you can call me at the office at 781-848-3939. My extension's 336. I'd be more than happy to speak to you.
Okay.
Even if you think you might not be thinking that it's an okay, I'll be more than happy to speak to you and see what we can do.
We talked about this before. So many
Yeah.
people were looking to do something,
Yes.
to feel like they were able to
Exactly.
contribute something. So here's a perfect opportunity.
Exactly. I had a young older gentleman that called and wanted to volunteer, but he was older, and he said, I don't know if I could do the stairs. I don't know volunteering. I just wasn't sure. And I kept seeing it on the Quincy TV cable show, and I kept seeing it, and he said, I called you and I asked what I could do, and he said could I work in the kitchen and help out, and he's been there every single day since. So
So that's a win-win.
Exactly.
He
exactly.
wins. He's got something to do and contribute. And
Exactly.
South Shore Elders wins.
Exactly.
Because you need the help.
We do.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. And so, or if you I even have people that are calling that want to call somebody that just speaks Spanish, that just speaks Portuguese,
okay.
just speaks Asian. Anybody in that kind of thing could be more than happy, would love to have you.
Okay. And is there a certain minimum that folks have to commit to?
Usually a week, an hour a week.
An hour a week.
A
Okay.
week.
All
That's
right.
it. We don't ask for a lot on the friendly visitor. Just calling. Same with the. It takes less than an hour to deliver the meals and less than an hour to pack the meals. So you're in and out in less than an hour
right.
doing either job.
So even somebody who's working could do it on their lunch hour,
Absolutely.
perhaps. Yeah.
And I do have those.
Yeah.
When schools were working from home and stuff like that, they said the kids need to get out and
exactly.
they need to. So that's how they were doing it. I have people who do it for a school that need service requirements and stuff like that. And they do it in the summer.
So they could certainly do more if they wanted to, and probably most do. Yeah.
So if they ever have a question, please let me, just call me. I'll be
Okay.
more than happy to answer anything that you have.
Okay. And that was what that gentleman did. Called and
he
asked.
just called.
Right?
He just called because he was afraid
Yeah.
of thinking, I can't do the stairs. I can't, am I going to be able to do it? And once he called, he knew that there were other things that he could do.
Yeah, well, the thing that just struck me that you said was, he didn't ask what can't I do.
Exactly.
Ask what can I do. So there is something.
Exactly.
You can
There's
fill
always
in a hole
something.
somewhere. Yeah.
Exactly. And just like Marilyn, she has an ombudsman program.
Yep.
That's wonderful too. And
Yes.
if you can't do a friendly visitor, or if you can't deliver during the day, her
Yep.
program's you make the time to go and do it.
Yeah, well, Marilyn, I would think the Ombudsman program, especially the past year and a half, has been critical. I mean, a
very
crucial
critical.
service
Yep,
to have
but-
an advocate for people who are in nursing homes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing how we kind of roll with the punches. Obviously, for those who don't know, an ombudsman is an advocate, and my program is advocacy for people in long-term care, so
Right.
nursing homes, also rest homes.
Okay.
And what we do is we have a training program that's done by the Long-Term Care State Ombudsman's Office, which is part of the Executive Office of Elder Affairs.
Okay.
And then we spend some time monitoring with the individual, and then each person gets their own home to go to. So some of them are large, some of them are smaller. We have 21 homes on the South Shore, plus 3 rest homes. And we have a wonderful team, just a great group of people. But the real part that I think most people enjoy is you don't have to do it every Thursday at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
You can go anywhere from 3 to 4 times a month, any day you want between the hours of 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. So this allows flexibility, vacations, whatever. During the time when the residents were in lockdown, we managed our visits with virtual visits.
Okay.
So we would coordinate with activities directors and use iPads or tablets, whatever,
Yeah.
and visit with the residents that way.
Wow, so
just
you
to let
really-
them know that we're there.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful program. I've been doing it for 22 years.
Have you really?
And I don't want to stop. It's a part of my life. And I find one of my volunteers who just recently had his 90th birthday said, well, I probably think I should stop because I'm older than some of the residents. And he'd been with us since 1998.
Is that right?
Yep, it's the type of thing, if we've got you for 6 months, we've got you.
Yeah.
You just don't want to go anywhere.
Well, talk about being a friendly visitor. I mean, to somebody who is in a nursing home or rest home, assisted living facility, to see a familiar face every week,
Yeah,
you know, and to
Yeah.
know that if there is something bothering them or on their mind, or even just for a social visit, there's that guarantee that they're going to have that outlet to talk to that person.
The nicest part about what we do is that anything that the resident tells us is confidential.
Right.
So we don't, the only time that we would release any information would be if the resident gave us permission.
Yes.
Sometimes it's an issue of, well, yeah, I really like tea and I get coffee all the time.
Okay, so minor things like that. Yeah.
So we would ask, well, is it okay if we look into that
Yeah.
for you? And then we check back.
Yep.
And I always tell the staff, I'm like an ex-wife on payday. And I'll be back. I will nag you. But it's a wonderful thing for them to know that even if they have an uncomfortable situation, they can tell us and we won't tell anybody.
Right. Are they trained to look for issues of abuse, Marilyn?
We certainly would listen to that,
Yeah.
and we would certainly advise as to how to handle it.
Okay.
In terms of trying to get folks to talk to the Department of Public Health.
Right.
But again, a resident could tell us about an abuse situation, and we wouldn't tell anybody unless they
Unless
gave us permission.
They authorize it, yeah.
So it's good that they have someone to trust.
Well, right, because I would think if they were fearful of retribution for whatever reason, at least they have the confidence of knowing that they can speak to somebody about
Right.
it, and if nothing else, make themselves feel better about the fact that they told somebody.
Well, we always, as I say to family members and residents alike, I don't live here 24 hours a day. You do.
Right. Yeah.
And not that I think that there's a lot of it, but
Yep.
you know what? I'm not there.
Right.
I really don't know. I always encourage them to talk, and I always will, ask, are you sure I can't tell someone?
So you need a level of trust. You need to build a level of trust.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And even family members will call, and a typical one might be, a daughter calling saying, my mother just stays in her room, and my dad is
Okay.
wicked.
Yeah,
He
they notice
just-
a change in behavior.
He
Yeah.
watches television all day long. I
Yeah.
want him to go to activities. And I just say, well, that's a wonderful thing
Yeah.
that they have you. But, if your dad says no, it's no.
That's it.
And
They're
if
still
your
in
mom
charge.
says she wants to watch the soaps, it's mom's life.
Right.
And I like to see them drive their own bus,
Yeah.
and that's it. Mom says no,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And that is key, isn't it? It's
It is.
independence.
We listen to the residents.
Yeah,
They're
it's-
the boss,
It's
nobody else.
feeling that they're in control of their lives. They've already lost some control because they're not in their homes anymore.
That's right.
So to give them at least some sense of, I can kind of direct my own path.
Well, I think the best part of our program is, usually when people enter long-term care, whether it's for rehab or whether it's long-term, they think they've lost all their independence. And it's our job to empower them.
Yep.
To get it back. I mean, my mother, may she rest in peace, she had her poker parties, and they went until after midnight.
Oh, wow.
Oh, not in her room. And they each had their can of beer.
She closed the place down.
Oh yeah. But people, you'd be surprised that you can do anything that you want within reason,
Yeah, of
as
course.
long as you're not disturbing anybody else.
Yes.
It's your house.
Yeah.
It's not just like a hospital or whatever. No, this is your home.
Yeah, I know some places encourage folks to bring their own furniture.
Oh, we all do.
Yeah.
Their own-
Whatever fits in your space,
Yeah.
you are certainly welcome to bring in. We have recliners, refrigerators,
Yep.
all kinds of things.
Sure. Do you need help in the Ombudsman program?
We very definitely do.
Okay.
And right now, I'm kind of happy about the fact that we're accepting just applications,
Okay.
primarily because our trainer was out for a while and she's back. And the trainings are done virtually. They meet twice a week for 4 weeks for 2 hours at a time,
Okay.
by computer or tablet. You don't have to go anywhere.
Okay.
And then you get certification from the state, and then we take either I or my assistant Olivia or some of our team members will take a volunteer. I don't like to call them volunteers because they're ombudsmen.
Okay.
So they take the newbie out and they go to different homes, and we spend 10 to 15 hours with them before they
Really?
start on their own.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a comfort for a volunteer too, to know that you've got their back, basically.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Always. And then we meet monthly, and I feed them.
Okay.
And it's we've become like a very close family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they required to be vaccinated, Marilyn?
We do not have that requirement.
Okay.
I will say that we were considered to be critical personnel, and so
Great,
we were
yes.
all able to be vaccinated, but it's not a requirement.
Okay. How about for volunteers, Bridget?
Same for us.
Same? Okay. Are there any special considerations because of COVID that a volunteer should be aware of, I guess?
Well, we're still requiring them to wear masks when they deliver meals.
Okay.
That's just going to be the policy of South Shore Elders. But just, we don't know when that's going to change.
course.
But at the moment, it's still wearing a mask. They wear gloves and a mask.
Okay.
And friendly visitor is just on the phone.
Right.
So it
That's not
wouldn't
an
be
issue.
a requirement
Okay.
for that at all.
At this time, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How has the agency itself in Braintree, are the doors open now? Can folks come in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No masks required.
No mask. You can, we can't ask you if you've been vaccinated. I
No.
don't think.
I think you're right.
I think we
that's-
can't ask that.
Yeah. There are
We
HIPAA
do have
laws,
masks.
right?
Yeah, we do have masks and everything at the door. If you want to wear it, you can. You don't have to if you don't.
Okay. All right. And same thing for you. Volunteers still needed for Meals on Wheels?
Delivering.
Delivering only?
Delivering only.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
It seems like the Quincy area always needs folks to volunteer.
Yeah, it's our biggest site.
I was just gonna say, it
is.
must be.
It is our biggest site. The Martinson site has over 200 meals, and
Wow.
the Howes Neck is saying almost 220 out of Martinson.
Okay.
So there is a lot of people that we feed.
And is there similar training
Yeah.
for your programs
Yep.
as well? Okay.
Same thing, not as intense
intensive,
as
yeah.
theirs. I just come out, I tell people what to look for, what not to look for, make sure people aren't hoarding or and stuff like that when you're delivering meals and stuff like that.
Yep.
But and confidentiality is a big thing with South Shore Elder Services
Okay.
as well. So you can't say if you go to Stop and Shop and you see somebody that you delivered a meal to, you can't say, how is that?
Hi, how
meal?"
are you? Did you like the last meal I brought you? Okay, yeah, so
Exactly.
be a little discreet about it. Yeah.
exactly.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Folks
absolutely.
have pride, certainly.
absolutely.
And that's something to be taken
Yeah.
into consideration as well. Any meal preferences, or can folks kind of specify? Do you try and tailor toward cultural
Yep,
needs? You
as
do?
a matter of fact, we do. We
Okay.
have Asian meals. We have cardiac meals. We have all
Oh.
different kinds of meals
Okay.
for anybody.
Low sodium, I'm thinking, is
Low
probably a big
sodium
one. Yeah.
is like our number one.
Sure.
Number one thing.
Good to know. Okay. Did you see the need increase during the pandemic?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of people weren't living with their families.
Right.
They were by themselves. They wanted to make sure the parents were getting fed and making sure that someone was checking on them because they weren't able to come and check on them.
Yeah.
So that as well as delivering the food, you're doing a safety check as well.
It really is kind of an impromptu safety check, right?
yeah.
Well-being check, yeah.
And the person knows that they're going to have somebody that's going to say hello to them.
Yes.
How are you doing today? I can't have a full-fledged conversation with you,
course.
but I can see how you're doing today,
Yeah.
and let me know.
The only other person they may see is their letter carrier.
Exactly. That's so true.
You know, yeah.
Very true.
And I'm sure they get to know each
They
other
do.
over
Yeah,
a certain
and
period
if they're
of
a
time.
minute late, they know too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You ever
They
get
get
the
used-
opposite, the well-being check on the deliverer? What happened to my Meals on Wheels?
He's not here yet.
Yeah, you better check and make sure he's okay. Yeah. So good to know.
Yes, absolutely.
The main website I know is a good place also.
It's SSElder, SSELDER.org, and the phone number is 781-848-3939.
Yep. Or 3910 is the main.
3910 is the
number.
main number. 3939 if you know the person's extension.
It'll get you right through.
And get
yeah.
you right through.
Okay, very good. Anything else we should let the folks know about either the Ombudsman program or volunteer opportunities?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing that we're particularly happy to have would be someone speaking Chinese.
Good to know.
Cantonese preferable, but right now we had one and she retired, so we are looking for someone because we do have homes that have primarily Asian
Yes.
Asian residents.
Yep.
So we're always happy to talk to folks about that.
Okay.
But other than that, I think the best part about our program, I think, is the flexibility and the camaraderie
Yep.
and just the overall wonderful feeling that you get when you've helped somebody. And we don't just help with little things. We can help with healthcare proxies, with guardianships.
Yep.
You know, we kind of run the gamut from the cream and the coffee all the way up.
Yes.
So it's, I just think it's a great thing
Well,
to
they,
do.
I mean, they always
obviously.
say volunteers get more than they give, and I'm sure
Certainly
that's...
I believe that's
so
true.
That's true,
I
yeah.
believe
too.
that's true.
Yeah. Thank you both. Really appreciate
Oh,
the
Thank
It
you.
was our
opportunity.
pleasure.
Thank you for the time.
You're very
Yeah.
welcome. I hope it helps
Yes.
to get the word out. So thanks again.
Yes.
Just enough time to recap the weather forecast for you for the rest of the day today. It's pretty nice, actually. I think I'll call it the pick of the week. How's that? Lots of sunshine, low humidity, mild temperatures, right around 80 degrees or so. You can still have the windows open tonight. It'll be comfortably cool into the lower 60s. A little muggier tomorrow with a high in the low to mid 80s. Look out for some unsettled weather here on Wednesday. Better chance for showers actually Thursday, but Thursday's highs into the low 70s. Thanks again to Marilyn Strauss and Bridget Campbell for joining us here on the program.
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Happy to be here.
You're very welcome. Reminder too, head to our website, qatv.org. You'll find all of our latest programs there, along with news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. Thanks to our crew. Please join us here again on Friday. We will welcome Kelly Eisner from the American Red Cross on another program of Currently in Quincy. Have a good week.